Welcome to the Heavyweight Podcast.
The message behind saying the title of the Heavyweight Podcast is to be able to say that we can weigh in on some heavy shit. You know, what we're talking about is important from every aspect of it. It's a heavy weight. It's not just about physical weight, but the weight of things that can weigh our minds. So I think it's dope that we can have this conversation.
What's good? This is episode 128 of the Heavyweight Podcast. I am Stutter McFly, back again with these three guys. Go ahead and state your name for the beautiful people out here.
Yo, what's up? It's Gap Williams. Just here to tell some truths.
It's your boy Mo Lethal the Grouch.
And they call me Hunter.
Gap Williams.
How are your weeks?
Well, you know what? This week was good. This.
Did you say William? Know what?
Did I say that? I meant well. It was good. It was, they know. We took that day off that week. Got a little caught up. I don't know about on sleep, but caught up on shit in the house. So that's a plus. And now I'm ready for Mamba year, You know?
For shizzle.
For shizzle. Mr. Mo.
The week was it was relaxing after the previous two. Dealing with the flu and then the other sickness that hit me randomly. So actually had time to recover, enjoy my vacation, treat my wife to some birthday festivities, and spend time with my daughter. So
Very nice.
It was good. All around, it was a good week since.
For shizzle.
I didn't do shit.
Weird.
Here we go.
So you're on your Dexter shit, huh?
Didn't do a damn thing, bro.
Where'd you hide the body?
The Mojave, like I said last time, you gonna hide the motherfucker in the Mojave.
You gotta switch it up though.
There's enough land out there.
Probably in that box in his trunk.
You just chop it up. It's a front. Is it a front? Is that why it doesn't sound as good to you?
It's a secret compartment.
Arms kicking the kick.
Oh my god. Nah, I didn't do a damn thing. I wasn't feeling good. I ended up pulling my shoulder, so I didn't do shit.
How
Would you
do that? If you
rigorous masturbation, huh?
No, I was lifting up my sub box.
Yeah, that's what I call it.
Wait. So you hurt yourself putting the box in the car?
No, just picking it up from one spot and moving it to another spot.
Oh, so even
How much does it weigh?
Like 80, 90 pounds.
By yourself?
You ain't did that since your package days, huh?
No.
Why you
And
didn't use
I just got back full range of my shoulders.
why you didn't use the car jack?
Because I didn't need it that low. I was trying to move it so I could stain it.
You just use the car jack to move it.
I don't have it. You had it.
less
No,
than
I got your motorcycle jack.
Yeah, that would have worked out better. No, it's whatever. I'm recovered now.
When you get older, you got to work smarter. You can't be out here risking your body.
I know, and it was the first thing I did too. I woke up and went right to the garage and
Didn't even stretch.
didn't even.
straight to it, cold.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You earned that one.
not
not
warm.
I did.
Not warm at all.
I did. I was like, I should at least wait until after I took a shit.
Oh, okay. Your week, fly?
I guess it's technically for 2 weeks because we were off a week. So the week prior, I had performed in Grand Terrace. And apparently, it was a 5th annual JC's birthday bash. Shout out to JC. And I got to do some stand up. And
Debut.
I did 10 songs in a row because the 2 guests that I had planned to come out and perform, one got sick and the other one had a family emergency.
Allegedly.
And so I had to carry the show by myself. And shout out to the dispatcher that showed up, which really threw me, but shout out to them. And shout out to everybody else who showed up and enjoyed the festivities. So then after that, I got sick. Then my family got sick. And the youngest, Alaric, he got severely sick. So we ended up in the ER. Then, after that, I dealt with the realization of what happened 2 years before was the exact same events that happened this year. or rather in 2023. And it just kind of triggered me because it was the same exact events. My daughter ended up in the ER. She had tested positive for COVID. I was sitting in the parking lot with my son for like hours waiting for them to get out of the ER. Then a couple days after that, my dad found out my dad wasn't going to make it. So like the fact that like 2 years later, it was the same kind of chain of events really triggered me and threw me in like some downward spiral. So at the end of it, I just feel thankful that I'm able to kind of just bounce back from it. But that shit kicked my ass. And then it's been a couple of days since I've been back in the gym, and a week off from the gym, it feels like it was like months. Yeah, because like things that were easy for me to do are not easy, and it was just a week off. So other than that, then I just said fuck work after 3 days or 2 days, and yeah, now I'm
always fuck that place.
Holiday routine.
Now I'm just trying to get back in the Mamba year mentality, and other than that, I just keep pushing.
Amen. We're gonna skeet on them. That's a coming.
Consensually.
That's coming.
Consensually.
Coming.
Oh.
This is part of the Heavyweight Podcast.
Yeah.
It is normal because we all have children.
I don't know what she's doing.
She's doing what she got to do.
Well, I don't think we could talk about that.
Give it a second. Just give it a second.
Sorry for real life.
We like that sometimes.
Spoons. Oh, she already left?
Yeah.
Oh, she's quick.
Yeah.
My apologies.
She good with it.
So, do we just get into the festivities, or we try to ease into it with Vaseline?
We can get into our New Year's resolution. We can start off like.
All right, New Year's resolutions. What are they?
Our goals, whatever the case.
What are you planning to do this year? You can take it slow, or do you just want to say the biggest goal that you have in mind?
I'll go first. My New Year's resolution is don't die. That's it. What you sign it for?
Is this what we gotta look forward to when we get old? Like you just happy to make the year? Is that what life is?
He said, "Oh, motherfucker, you only 10 years behind." Shit.
So what is your goal to not die?
Like, yeah, what you gonna do to accomplish that?
That's the goal. Like, so you just go live and like just not do nothing.
What are you doing to stay alive?
I don't do anything to like end my death. I'm just saying, it's very simple goal: stay alive.
So are you gonna drive 85?
More.
We drive 95. That ain't nothing new.
You know how many times that warning bell went off this morning?
Oh,
20 probably.
Ding, ding. You driving that fast?
Ding. I'm partially deaf thanks to this motherfucker this morning.
Yo, shit is,
for you, it ain't that loud.
That shit is loud.
For me, I'm like, who listens like this?
That shit ain't even enjoyable.
How do you listen? How do you hear the music?
You don't. It's all vibration.
Make my booty vibrate.
Okay.
Whoa.
Good to know. I guess.
That's it. I really don't have any resolutions. In too many years of seeing them and everything else, my goal is just survive. Just stay alive.
Good to know some shit don't change.
Consistent.
Instantly depressed.
Consistent.
Instantly. I've been told from us being in person that my facial expressions are priceless. So if you see me react to this nigga this year, it's warranted.
Everybody understands it. I mean, there's a lot of people who have that.
Oh, they understand my facial expressions towards you. Because, nigga, you say some shit.
Stay alive.
You just depressed me. Come on, bruh.
The Bee Gees. No one. All right.
I was just trying to say mine is really simple, easy.
Simplistic. I get it. I get you.
I mean, you could
short and to the point.
Yes, I'll just accept that. Yep. Hey, good goal, man. Proud of you.
I mean, at least I can say if I make it, I made it.
Yeah, you hit it.
I smell breakfast.
Yeah.
That shit smell good. that shit smell good. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, Kevin.
This year I want to lock down a bunch of shit financially. Try to get ahead, and
I'm trying to get some head too.
well, that usually costs, but
I'm gonna just ignore that. Go ahead and keep on talking.
I want to, as I spoke with you guys, try to get this to be a little more comfortable space for us, so we can, podcast and comfy and look, flex on these niggas a little bit. Fuck it. What do I want to do personally at work? So this year's an advancement year, so we do it weird. We got a test for it, so I got to pass that shit and get my health right.
What's wrong with
I mean, it's not the greatest, you know. If I take all these medicines, there's got to be something wrong. So workout, diet, all that shit. Stay consistent. I got to get back to the same one I had last year, and that's the hardest one, is the discipline to be able to do all of these things and maintain it and not like discourage myself off or whatever.
I saw one of the fitness people I follow that goes to my gym actually said slight discomfort is expected on your road to success.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So the discipline part comes in when you say, you know what? I might not taste anything when I eat this broccoli or health food, but it's a means to an end. Yeah, you would say that shit. But I'm proud of you for acknowledging it and pushing it forward, because health is a big thing.
Fritter?
I mean,
I got an apple fritter for you.
This nigga's trying to stay alive and offering apple fritters to his colleagues.
And already had 20 minutes. Yeah, that's what I got for now. I mean, I'm sure as the year goes, it'll evolve. There's always should be more goals as you go.
There should be constant progression towards smaller goals and then leading towards the biggest goal.
Yeah.
So you kind of can pat yourself on the back by certain milestones. You Mo Lethal?
My goal for 2020 is simple. I'm just gonna put myself first. That's it. I've spent the last, at least 8 years putting people before me, family wise. And so I just said I'm gonna really focus this year on doing things that make me happy. And same like Kevin, stay consistent with my health journey. I am down. I am in the. I'm almost to the 250 mark. So I'm happy about that.
What? Shit! I gotta lose some weight. You caught up to me.
I'm almost back down to the 250, so I'm happy about that. But other than that, I'm just I just said I'm gonna just focus on myself. I'm gonna be more blunt than I've been.
Oh fuck!
I said like the people who know me. They know I don't mean anything by it. I'm gonna just if you ask my opinion, be prepared to get the honest opinion. It's gonna be worse than before. I'm not.
This nigga nothing.
hey, how's the weather? Fuck.
So that's it. It's simple, man. Just that, and just also try to be the best father I can, best husband I can. That's it.
Amen.
Simple goals, simple resolutions.
Wait,
my plans to disappear.
Can we get an update on the sex simple goal from last year?
Okay, yeah, let's. Let's.
I want to get an update because last year you said you wanted to be a sex symbol. Have you achieved that?
I think in ways I have.
So can you open up the Heavyweight Podcast OnlyFans so we can get some more attraction over here? You said you.
I just know. I'll say.
I'll make some traction. That's all.
Things have happened that made me realize that maybe women like me. I'll say that much. But I'll say I've achieved certain goals.
You got 3 kids in a whole. So it's apparent women like you because you've
I'm
been
talking
slinging
about,
bikes.
you know,
turn left. We turning left.
I'll say it's interesting. It's a nice change. It's flattering. I'll say that.
Pants fit and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'll say that. But my plan and my ultimate goal is to fucking disappear.
Yeah, like
disappear from Earth.
Like Andy Kaufman disappeared.
Like what are we talking about?
Just
Y'all talking shit on my resolution?
mine ain't death.
We need you here. You can't disappear. You're not.
I'm just talking about like hard to get to.
Oh, you should be that way. I'm already that way. So that, you know.
Like where people don't know my movements or whereabouts unless I decide to show up. So that's
just follow what I do.
I mean, I'm talking like some like you looked in the corner and then you look again and I'm not. It's like where the fuck did he go? Like
that's like
on magician
on some Nightcrawler type.
Yeah, like where you like, damn, he was just there. I saw him. Didn't you just see him in the corner? And then you just I wasn't there. What are you talking about?
Spent the whole night watching alien documentaries and
that's not. No anal probing. I'm talking about I just want to be like, man, did you sure you saw him?
I know anal in this motherfucker.
Hey, he said alien abductions and we know what they do. So
we know what they do?
Yeah.
We know what aliens do.
We know we've been told what they do.
Yeah, that's the constant thing.
We can't confirm or deny it because I haven't experienced. Maybe you experienced it. I haven't experienced it.
No, I'm just trying to figure.
I mean, you do like your booty hole being vibrated by vibration, so
he did say that, and they talk with telepathy. So maybe
it might be up your alley.
With telepathy too.
Vibration and booty holes, hand in hand.
Oh my God. I never understood that shit about aliens. Aliens probe your ass. The fuck came up with that dumbass shit?
Maybe they like probing.
Then again, we are humans. We always talk about something ass related, so.
Do we?
I mean, maybe they're just trying to track our diets.
Possible.
They were like, oh man, all this undigested red meat. Fried chicken. Apple fritters.
I was thinking way opposite. Maybe they trying to emasculate me.
Oh.
It seems these African American men have more
girth.
So it could be a lot of things. So anyway, before we go on a tangent, we're going to get into the nitty gritty.
The nitty gritty.
There's a lot. So in the last 2 weeks, there's been some interviews that have happened that we're going to touch on this episode.
Yeah,
it's been a lot of shit last.
In 2 weeks alone,
it's been a lot of shit.
Just 2 niggas. A lot of shit's happened. So starting off with one, let me take that back. Dr. Umar Johnson had controversial thoughts when he did the Joe Budden podcast about Eminem.
Not Dr. Umar.
Not being ever in the GOAT talk in hip hop because he is not of African descent. There's a lot to unpack there, but what are your thoughts in general about your takes on maybe the fact that he's saying that he can't be in the talks of GOAT, greatest of all time, if you don't know what GOAT means, and what impact did Eminem have in your growing up?
Oh, yeah, all of it.
So when we unpack that, can you recall in times where you had an impactful moment where maybe he was influential in your upbringing as far as just what you were listening to at the time, a soundtrack to your life? Who wants to?
For me, I'll go like in this route with Eminem, and it's a weird route to go. But if he's gonna go by that logic, then Michael Jordan can't be the GOAT because that's the Canadian made that shit. That ain't ours. Like, what the fuck you talking about?
We're just really good at that sport and golf.
But we can't be the GOATs because
Yeah.
We ain't a Canadian. We're not Naismiths. So that's how I feel with that. It's like that's
really good at football too.
all of them. Yeah,
Well, that is, I don't know why he put it as a race.
that's what he
It's
does.
supposed to transcend race, and he just
And
threw the
to be
race in it.
fair, hip hop is not just African based.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's for him to put it as a race thing is kind of
Where
up in my eyes.
it derived from, as far as in New York, it was many cultures in that movement. So
it started in the park.
yeah, and it just there's a bunch of different cultures involved in that. So we can't just say, oh, African. I mean, granted, the beats and it has a direct correlation with African.
I bet you there's a bunch of Puerto Ricans and Dominicans involved too.
I mean, but then you also there's a lot of Dominicans that are of African descent.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that was my thing. It's just the fact that you to me, you just hip hop in its own, saying, you know,
because
you can't be a good hip hop person because you're white.
But in talent wise, like
the GOAT, he can't be the greatest because he's not
What?
black.
Me and
Exactly.
Kevin, we had talked before we started this. So we were talking about how Eminem was a
sponge.
Yeah, sponge and a student of hip hop, where you could tell he clearly this affected him in certain aspects as far as his growing up. So he decided to be a student of the game and listen and learn and respect and research and make sure he didn't disrespect the culture and actually, show that he was a part of it. He wanted to move it forward. So it's weird to say that because of his skin color, now he cannot be in that talk. But when you think about his influence and his effect and his range and his reach, what he's changed for the culture is kind of for him to say it like it's disrespectful to black culture for him to even be in the reference or the talk of it. I can't co-sign it just for the simple fact he's showing his love for the culture by how he approached it.
Yeah, and he respects it.
And there's a lot of black people that are in hip hop who do not respect the culture to a degree to where you're like, they don't care to want to learn.
No, say that shit bluntly. These new niggas don't respect shit.
They don't respect it. They don't research it. They don't learn it. They don't try to go back to what came before them. They don't pay homage. They
disrespect it to the fullest when they all say they're better than like Pac and all them motherfuckers who took their time and like paid dues on then so and so.
So and this is their culture. This is what's making sure they eat, and they can't respect it enough to make sure that it's growing, it's nurtured. But then you see someone who actually did it for the entire duration of their career to show that how much it mattered to him, it meant to him, how much he's given back to artists that we wouldn't see without his influence or his involvement. You got 50 Cent as the main thing where you're like, if Eminem didn't take an investment in 50, it was 50 be as big as he is now.
Yeah, he put more niggas on than a lot of niggas.
I mean, Obi Trice.
Shit, my bad.
To me, is very underrated. But like, if you look at, nigga. Anyway, Obi Trice, the D12s, the et cetera, like a lot of, I mean, especially D12 is a perfect example. They're not exactly the most talented bunch, but he still put them on.
Man, you got straight, nigga. They ain't good, but look at what he did for me.
I mean, the only, Bizarre had his own thing.
He did.
So I give Bizarre credit. The rest of them, come on.
I liked Proof. Proof didn't disappoint me. He couldn't make songs, but I liked Proof.
I don't disrespect the dead. That's not my intention, but did he have memorable music for you?
Freestyles. I like his freestyles. I'll give you that. Like his music, he couldn't make good songs.
What's mine right now?
I don't know, nigga. You can't ask me any of that. I can't tell you a Biggie freestyle.
All I'll say is, if the only bar that I can remember from D12 is 50 told me to do push-ups or sit-ups to get buff did 1.5 and couldn't get up is the only reference I have for D12, then Bizarre, you're their guy. And if Bizarre's your
Really,
guy.
because when I think of Bizarre, all I think about is when he said all bitches is hoes, even my stinking ass mom. I said, that's some disrespectful shit. That's the only book.
Well, I'm talking about a bar that made me chuckle and say that was actually clever. Was the 50 told me to do sit-ups to get buff. I did 1.5 and couldn't get up. That's I can picture him trying.
I can't.
And I don't know how he got the 1.5.
Yeah, I was like, he lied.
I mean, anyway.
Yeah, we went.
But yeah, I don't know your thoughts overall about.
I just think like I said, Dr. Umar, he says some smart things and he says some dumb things, and I don't think that you can negate the skill level or the impact one person had just based off of skin color. And I also feel like there's a lot of I feel like there's a lot of rappers, especially in the early 2000s, just hated him because he was just doing things that they couldn't do.
Dude,
and they had a lot of hate for him. So I don't see. Because you look at M's background, he grew up in the hood. He hung out with, black people and stuff like that. So he was influenced by his environment. So you can't say that he doesn't have a right to the culture if that's part of the culture that nurtures his upbringing and his molding. So,
and that was like, to me, the basis of what hip hop was in general. Was like speaking for the person who felt oppressed or that. And I'm like, when you grow up in the hoods and you feel like you don't have a voice, and that hip hop represented that voice. Yeah, that's not racially based. That's something we share as a whole, because there's a bunch of people that don't have a voice.
I think when it comes to music in totality, it's about skill. It's about talent. It's never about race. It's like, it's like people get on, the couple white singers that are soul singers, but they sing really well. They do the job. So it's not like someone can't be born with God-given talent and just having affiliation to that type of music or that type of style. That just because you're not black doesn't mean you can't be a soul singer, you can't be a rapper. It's like when it comes to any expression of art, as long as you're true to yourself and you're not, you ain't got people behind the scene making who you are, you're part of the culture because you're pushing it forward, especially when you're dope at it. So
that goes to the fact too that when he said that right there, how even the music we make it about race.
Yeah,
it's still about it. It doesn't matter. It's like you heard me guys talk about earlier.
If you can't tell me Old Town Road ain't a country song, there ain't no damn hip hop song.
I rocks with Old Town Road because it knocks.
It do knock.
That shit knocks.
It do knock, but it's a country song.
You will see me down the street just riding in my Porsche.
Like I said earlier, I started listening to black country songs. Yeah. And I'm like, but
you just call them country songs, man.
Yeah, they are country songs.
Just call them that.
Right.
Take race on.
I want to.
Because if you want to
put race on
because if you want to be extreme about it, you can track the history of any genre of music and deem it back to it being started by black people, right? For the most part, right? So does that mean that there's no goals in rock and roll that aren't black? Like his argument is he's dumb to start with. Like the foundation has no to me personally, it has no foundation in his stance.
Well, that's his drive. He did his job was to keep eyes on him.
I mean, yes, the point is to keep us talking.
And he's just great.
Keep him relevant as far as the times. But
some people believe that shit, but
I'll say for me, growing up, Eminem played a direct influence in me even wanting to rap. I remember being in 8th grade and this white dude was on what the fuck show was it? There was a station called The Box, I think, in St. Louis, and they used to play his video like every other hour, and I didn't know who the fuck it was, but I just remember I still don't give a fuck was a song, and they just kept playing, and I was like, who is this dude? And he was saying shit at the time that I never heard before, and then to find out he was produced by Dr. Dre, and then how much he influenced me throughout high school, and it was a soundtrack to my 11th grade year with the Eminem show, and then 8th Mile came out, and I was just, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, nigga. Like, this motherfucker's showing me what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, race had no part in that. It was just what it meant to me to be seeing someone speak about shit that related to me. And like the at that time the relationship I had with my mom and just like that disconnect, and you're just like, damn, this guy's speaking to my fucking soul. So like for me,
Say that again, though. Say that one more time, because people always try to use that against Eminem. It's that black niggas I can't relate, and I'm like, that's not true.
he spoke to my soul. What he was talking about, I was relating to. It just so for me, like it's something I'm so passionate about, hip hop, and to see you can recognize it in other people how much what you share means to them, and when you see it, you go, I can't deny that. You can't deny that, regardless. Like he's just, I don't know, just crazy to me. But at the end of the day, I feel like in my Mount Rushmore, Eminem is in one of those spots. And to me, the only way you can debate it is if you grew up in a different generation, to where maybe he didn't directly influence what you listened to growing up. So like the older to younger crowd, like, so, but in my age group, Eminem is in those GOAT talk, and the skin color ain't gonna change.
Yeah, he pushed the entire industry forward. Like hip hop was in house. Like you said, 50 would not be the same level he's at without Eminem putting hip hop into houses that was not into hip hop.
And then the thing is, like, those mixtapes at those times, like the 03, 04 mixtapes where he was going back and forth with Ja Rule and Benzino, and like all those mixtapes where you're like, man, like, did you hear that verse? Did you hear how M came off? Did you hear how M just fucking like completely eradicated the whole motherfucking group by himself? Like, and like you would listen to these mixtapes, and this is how you knew he was dope. He had 50, Obi, whoever on these songs, but the only thing that stood out was M. And it wasn't because he was the white guy on the song. It was because he was the one barring out more than anybody on the song. And anytime he did a feature, which is what a lot of rappers don't realize that they take from him, is Eminem was the bar for when you did a song with other artists, I plan to fucking murder you. My whole point on this feature is to outbar you. When you look at J. Cole now, when he's doing this outbarring on other people's songs, or you look at Lil Wayne or whoever's formula that's doing this shit, they outbar people because that is the art and the whole competition of hip hop. But Eminem set that bar at that point to where if you're on a song with him, you better be coming, because he's about to fucking destroy you.
Except T.I.
But you don't send him your verse, just get his verse.
Except with T.I. That one song he did with T.I. That first song he did with T.I. was like, what the fuck?
What I will say is, like, fuck, I almost lost train of thought. But what I will say is, when M did, fuck, why'd you have to say so? I had it.
Oh, well, you know, which song? 8 Mile? Eminem Show?
Someone talk. It'll come back to me.
Well, I'll just say what he did for me was with the writing. Like, it made me write, like, with purpose, like not just scribble and stuff, because I like respected how he used penmanship, because like even like the stories where you're like, dang. And then once I got to writing jokes and stuff, like I knew how much detail I had to put into it. Like I couldn't just, all right, and it's always evolving. So I think that was probably the biggest influence I took from him. Other than that, I was just wilding with him.
I lost my train.
Yeah,
I don't think it's coming back.
My apologies.
But what I will say is, yeah, he's dope. He set the bar for bars and having to bring them. Oh yeah, there it was. It just came back to me. Thank you, self. But when an ultimate sign of respect, and I don't know. I mean, I guess you could partially say it was based on race, but Jay-Z and Nas beef, when Nas can use Eminem as a reference point, and it still get used to this day, where they say, where Eminem murdered you on your own shit. That is a bar that at the time, when I'm sure when Jay heard it, he slapped in the face, and then I heard fucking The Game said it, as a reference point on the documentary. He said, "Damn, M murdered me on my own shit." It's just, I mean, it was inevitable. If you're on a song with M, you're probably gonna get murdered. But moving on, as we still talk about Dr. Umar Johnson, another controversial topic he had was about interracial marriage and relationships. And when he was also on the Joe Budden podcast, again, he had a back and forth with Ish. Shout out to the Joe Budden podcast. And he had said a statement along the lines where he said that, how do I phrase this? Essentially that why didn't Ish just pretty much keep jumping from relationship with black women until he found a relationship with a black woman to have a successful relationship. And then, Ish had reiterated, look, I had a bunch of relationships with multiple black women and it just didn't work for me. I just found love with someone I love. Yeah. But like, in the midst of all that, he also, made references to Vanessa Bryant, saying that, because Kobe, had passed, she had inherited his money and used his money not to support black colleges. And, in a reference, they were like, how do we know?
Yeah.
How do we know what she was doing with his money? We don't really know. This is all speculation. What stance do you have as far as what was said? Do you believe that he has a right to say what these people are doing with their money?
So that's a different question. Yes, I do believe he has the right. Now, should he? No, I think he's out of pocket by talking about something, especially somebody dead husband, and like you're trying to tell him where she should spend the money, and like you don't have a reference. Like that's insane. Like his kids, everything. Like it don't matter. Like I don't know. I don't get it. Because to me, he's talking about what has he done? Like he's building a school, which is dope. Focus on that.
We can't confirm that.
Well, I don't.
And that's for you. We can't confirm that.
So even with
like,
that,
because like I said with you earlier, it's like he's attacking that, and I wish I could remember the basketball player who made that reference to how you have all these players from LA that are pretty much like the top 5 being
did you
paid.
say it was Trevor Ariza?
It wasn't. It was so damn. I thought it was Trevor Ariza, but Trevor Ariza got dreads now, don't he? It was somebody different. But he was saying like you got all these guys with all this money, and it ain't gonna take much from each one of them to build anything, a gym, a community center, something. Like there's no bank that's gonna tell you no. And he rather take the time to talk about Vanessa Bryant, who we have no
concrete evidence of it.
I don't know what the hell she's doing with that money, because that's not a little bit of money. And it seems as if she's probably going to...
We don't even know how it was worded in Kobe's will for money to be distributed.
True.
And then even in Kobe, when Kobe was alive, those relationships he had built with those schools that he ended up funding, as far as just giving them shoes and making sure they had shoes, was relationships he had already built before he was passed. So it's like, maybe she just, and to me, when I saw it, she was paying homage to making sure that what he wanted, yes, or those relationships and ties he had with those establishments were,
that's her
ongoing.
Her only job right now is to keep his legacy.
Yeah, just keep his legacy alive. And then and the biggest thing
them babies,
Kobe was doing at the time was making sure to push women basketball forward, because that was something him and Gianna shared.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he could have had all that in the trust, to where she don't even have to even handle none of it, and she just do her thing. You ain't got no proof of none of that, like you said.
I understand what Dr. Umar is trying to say and trying to do. I don't agree with his approach, because basically what he's trying to say is he's trying to keep the black money in the black community, right, and push forward like the growth of the black community. But at the same time, you can't sit here and blame one or several individuals for the state of the black community as a whole. Like, you got to take accountability. Like, us as black people as a whole have to take accountability for the things we do in our own community, right?
100%.
So we can't look at, the Kobe Bryants, the LeBron James, the Michael Jordans, the Shaquille O'Neals to bail out a whole community. You know what I'm saying? Just because they got out and they did the good things because they had God-given talent, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to come back and then save everyone, right? So the whole dynamic, even with him like even like the whole thing with Ish, right? With him saying he should have got a black woman. I don't have an issue with him saying that, because to me, that's no different from Indian parents wanting their son to marry an Indian girl, or Mexican parents wanting their daughter to marry a Mexican boy. Like that's something that's done.
Kids though.
Right. But he's viewing it that way, right? But that's something that's been done across cultures for generation. They want the cultures the culture to stay the culture. They don't want you to go outside your culture. That's a big thing in Asian culture, right? They want you to stay, right? So I don't have a problem with that, because that's essentially what he was trying to say. I don't think he came at it correctly. But I don't have a problem with the foundation of what he's trying to say. Now the way he goes about it, it don't make sense. But it's like I said, but as black people, again, we have to take accountability for how we spend our money, for what we do with our money, and for the choices we make. Like,
I understand that.
Like, you can only blame the system so much.
Now, so when I agree with you, like, you shouldn't have to bail out the community. But like, to me, I'm like, if you're gonna like target people, then why aren't we like holding people accountable to do something? Like, don't bail them out, but like, how are you gonna show the way if you don't show the way? Like, if you don't do anything to progress it, like, are you supposed to wait for the people who are below you to do it, or are you supposed to lead it?
I would argue back and say they are helping, right? So when Kobe had his camps, when LeBron do his camps,
I'm talking them. Yes,
Dion with the football program, Shaq. It's well documented how much Shaq has people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but what he's talking about directly funding certain communities and like investing, right? And it's like, even like going back and either buying up or living there. Like, the point of getting a certain level of success is to go somewhere to where you can be comfortable, right? It's like, it's not saying like I can't help my people. If I live in the hills, it doesn't mean I can't help my people down in the city, right? Absolutely. But why would I put myself down in the city and face unnecessary risk? Like that's always an angle he never addressed. Like, if I know I got money, I'm not gonna stay in the hood just to help the hood out. I can help the hood out from Calabasas, where I'm protected. I don't have to be here to help you. You know what I'm saying? Because even though I have a helping spirit, it doesn't mean that everybody's gonna show me love. Look what happened to Nipsey in his own hood.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So like, you have to understand, like, you can't. Everything's not as cut as dry as he says. Like, but like his vision of like, modern day Black Wall Street and like, communities like that. Like, I rock with that. But how he thinks things should be done, I don't necessarily rock with.
I get that. And I agree, because obviously we all moved away from where the fuck we live. But it's like, it's hard to change anything if no one's there to change anything.
But that's besides the point, Evan. You got to start at the number one factor. People have to want to change.
I'm sure people do want to change. I'm sure people want to change.
There's a lot of people that don't want to change.
I get that. There's a lot of people that do.
We all know people that's doing this thing.
But I'm saying, this is
what I will say.
Go ahead.
What I will say is Dr. Umar said a statement on I think it was the Breakfast Club. It could have been the Breakfast Club. I'm not sure. But he had said one statement that was real that I agreed with 110%. He said, I can tell all black people to move to Africa, but if there's niggas that are still stuck in the same frame of mind and they move to Africa, all they're going to do is bring those bad habits to Africa. So it means nothing if they're
But then that goes in reverse. Like, that goes in reverse. Because, like, we've lived in areas that were nice.
And
that
people
got bad.
Yeah.
So it's like, the only way to change the mentality is to almost like, you gotta be an example and almost have to be visible. Like, it sucks because Nipsey died from it, but I understand what he was doing. Like, I have to be tangible. I have to be able to show you, hey, like, he doesn't live there, but that nigga was there. You know what I'm saying?
I rock with everything you just said, right? But it still comes down to accountability.
No,
everybody has to be accountable for their own self, right? It's like us here. We can go out right now and start something for the community, right? And if one person disagrees with it, then it could be one person that looks like us.
Yeah.
Disagree with it, they're gonna trash us all over.
That's
you know
what they do.
That's part of it, right?
Yeah.
So, but they're not gonna be accountable. Like, we gave you a shot, you fumbled it. But the thing is, a lot of times in our community, people fumble they fumble their shot, and then they go back and they feel bitter because you won't give them a second chance or you won't give them a third chance. So now they downplay what you do, they badmouth you, and they say that you're not really for the community because you didn't help me. Well, no, I tried to help you. You fumbled it.
Okay,
right? Because it's like when you look at
they catch up.
When you look at the Kobe's, when you look at the LeBron, look at all the kids they help. Right now, if that kid grow up and don't live up to his potential, that's not on Kobe or LeBron.
No, I'm not saying that.
On Jordan.
I'm not saying that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it comes down to personal accountability, and regardless, I'm even to the point where I don't care about your upbringing. Right? I understand that your upbringing plays a role, but as a person, you get to a certain age where you have to accept and be accountable for your own decisions. Right? You can't let like we all grew up in not favorable neighborhoods, but we can't say, oh, that's all it was. People were gangbanging, they were selling drugs. So that's only choice that. No, because we're examples and we didn't take that road, right? So they chose to do that, right? Mm-hmm. It's an easy choice to just fall in line and just be part of the bad culture, but that's part of the accountability that people don't take. So if I'm sitting here telling you got options, like J. Cole said, it's more to success than being a ball player or a rapper. There's other things out there to be successful in, but if you don't want to do that because it's not a glamorous lifestyle, it's on you. You made the decision to say, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to pursue these other avenues where I can be successful.
Yeah, but what's that got to do with being tangible? Like, so you're going to have people talk about your shit. You're going to have people down it, badmouth it. Like you said, that comes part of it.
The thing I think that I had the issue with Nipsey Hussle, and I get that he was tangible. He was there on the, to let you know that, he's accessible. I feel like he was too accessible. I feel like even in that situation there, this is the block that I built up, he still should have security.
That's security. He should have security.
Yeah, like he should have, because I feel like you're too accessible. Like if this person feels like I can touch him and they decide to be jealous, which happened, is someone saying I can touch him, he doesn't even know it's coming, as opposed to like saying if he had security watching him and he's still in the same neighborhood, that doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Because that security catches him and says, he tried to get the drop on you. Like, so I feel it's the tangible part. Like, yeah, you should be on the front line showing these people, I'm with you. I'm here. Reach out to me.
I'm
not just giving you money and hoping that it works out. Because you ain't changing no mentality by not being there.
But to that point, some people can't always be tangible because I got 100 other things I'm over here trying to do, right? So I'm not here with you, but my money's here.
When
the big event comes, I'm sliding through. I'm making my face known. I'm taking the pictures. I'm shaking hands.
But what the fuck does that show? Like, what does that show? Like, we all say that. Like, that's accountability at that point too. Because it comes to, we can make time for when we want to make time. So if they don't want to make time unless it's a big event, what message does that?
It's not a fact of wanting to make time. It's just sometimes, even us now, sometimes our personal schedules don't allow us to do certain things.
Yeah,
I mean, and the truth it is, just because they're celebrities don't mean they don't have emergencies. They don't get sick. They're not dealing with personal issues. You know what I'm saying? They aren't family members, stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I would imagine as a celebrity, you're trying to give back to the community. You're trying to, because you got your foundation, you're doing all this. But at the same time, you got 3,000 cousins calling you. You got brothers calling you, aunties, uncles calling you. So it's like, I can get, because to this point now, I can understand that when you get tired of people calling you, asking for shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even when you're trying to do right by people, you have to look at everything with a certain level of concern, because is this person just trying to get over on me? Right? Because even if I'm sitting here supplying or developing a program to do whatever, is this program being ran correctly? Because I can't run the program. I can't be completely hands-on because I got to go out here and maintain whatever I'm famous for. Like LeBron can't show up to practice every week. He got to play 82 games. He got to train in the summer. and he still got to have time off, right? So he can't. You got to understand, like as celebrities and as athletes, they can't be there every weekend, week out.
No, I'm not saying.
I mean, like if you retire, so, you know what I'm saying?
Like to be there.
So it's
all
like,
the time.
but that's what I mean.
Don't
like,
just pull up on the big shit.
You good?
Like show a little, like that extra little bit. And like I'm with you on the accountability part. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we're gonna steer it back this way because it's going into a whole different
go ahead.
argument. But
yeah, who we're talking about community.
It's a dope, yeah, but like it's a dope thing. But I just don't want us to get to a point because we could talk about that for hours.
So like,
hold on. Let me say this though.
Oh shit!
I hate that saying.
What?
Why are we the only people that always got to give back?
We're not the only people.
I know, we're not the only ones. But why are we always the focus of every time it comes up? Because this black person didn't get back to this community. You don't ever hear that about any other race.
Well, they say that because for the large part, the large majority of disenfranchised people in the country is black. That's why they say that, and it's because we have the crabs in the barrel mentality. So for so long, it's like when you do make it, you pull people out, right? And when I look at it, when I look at like LeBron, right? LeBron's team is the same people he went to high school with. He pulled them out, right? His agent, they grew up with, right? He pulled them out, and then they pulled their friends out.
Yeah.
So it's not like
trickle down.
So it's a trickle down, right? So now, not only did LeBron elevate his family, right, with him and Savannah and their children and his mom, he reached out to 4 or 5 of his friends, and now their families, right? And so now he's really set up 5, 6 families to have generational wealth. So in my part, when I look at LeBron, he's done his job. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not his job to bring everybody back, right?
Well,
I feel like yeah, he's right. My thing is like if you bring one, if everybody just bring one, that's the whole. That's how you get the crabs out the barrel. If I'm out the barrel and I reach back and I grab Andy and I'm pulling Andy out with me, and then Andy like, okay, Maurice gave me game, so I'm gonna give Kevin the game, and then Kevin get you the game. That's how it is. But a lot of people are looking at celebrities to pull whole communities out.
Right.
Well, here's how you. Right. And I think because we look that way instead of like small. It's like, dog, just buy something. Like, fuck it. If it gets robbed, keep it. It's yours. Like, keep it until another nigga comes out and buy something else. And then eventually we own all this shit. And then once you own this shit, you're probably more prone to take care of your own shit. And the only thing to you with that is other cultures kind of do that. That's why they're not targeted.
No, they don't kind of do it. They do it.
They're not targeted.
They do it.
Because they do it. Like you go to an Asian community and you go, holy shit.
But again, what I'm
all of them are here. You go to Cardenas.
You don't hear that about other cultures. That's what I'm talking about.
Because they do it.
We do it too, but you don't.
No, we don't put on the level.
Oh, you get a little money, you leave your neighborhood. Okay, that's what pretty much every celebrity, pretty much every singer, and every color, race, and origin, everything. That's what they all did.
Because that's a smart choice.
It's like, oh, you did it.
That's whatever. It don't matter what color you are. You're leaving your neighborhood because you're gonna put your family. You're gonna.
Let's only focus on our color. That's
all right. I'll come back. So
I think I don't think it's I don't even think it's other people culture. I think it's all within Black culture itself. Black people are looking up at these people they idolize and deem celebrities to reach back down and bring them up in some way, shape, or form, right? And it's like it's been proven. I could tell you the blueprint, but if you have no motivation to follow it, then I can't help you. There's a difference between helping somebody and giving a handout.
Yeah,
a lot of people just want handouts.
Yeah,
they don't want help.
I agree.
That's the problem. That's what I think the problem is with our community. They don't want help. They want handouts. They want, oh, you got the money, pay for me. Give me this, give me that. No, how about I teach you a skill so that you can operate on your own, then you can go back and teach your family that. That's the problem. And that's the only thing I would say the only benefit I see from the pandemic is that, especially in our culture, we had a lot of Black people start businesses, start their own personal businesses and grow. But it was like through force of nature because of the situation, right? But historically, people are looking for a handout. That's why, like we say, we Black people love free 99. I just got to show up.
Yeah,
and that's
everybody.
The whole analogy of giving them a fish to teach them how to fish. You teach them how to fish.
I'm not gonna say. With my wife, like clearly, well, not clearly. You can't look at me and say that. But like the interracial shit, that's the dumbest shit because it's like you could be in an interracial relationship and give to the community, be part of the community. What the fuck is this motherfucker talking about? Like, I get how you're saying marriage and then you do this in the same and you bring it into the culture. But I'm like, who's to say that's what's going to happen?
Well, that part of that also is from his standpoint is, like I said, it's about keeping the black community together, then keeping the money in the black community, and then also about not phasing out your genetics, right? Because the problem is even, and this is even like the crazy, right? I get that, but the crazy part about this, about his mentality about this is it's the same mentality of white supremacists, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same mentality. I don't want to phase out my bloodline. It's the same mentality.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't want to phase out my bloodline.
But that's not just because you got Hispanics, like you said too. And
there's a contradiction to his statement though, because he feels there is no half black. So if you're a mixed race, you're all black.
As long as you identify, he's a doof.
That scientifically, that is true because black traits are always the dominant traits.
Well, I'm saying, so at that point, at that mentality, you could never phase out.
Well, you can't purposely phase out, but he's saying this is how you get the. This is how we got the. You get the black people with the blue eyes, black people with the green eyes. You get the black people with the different hair texture. It's not the quote unquote original black
American, black American,
not even American,
because he is lost in his shit. The way he was talking, well, somewhere along the line, my family was probably raped. You're like, yeah, so then you ain't all African, my G. Like, talking about.
I know I'm not. Shit.
No black person in America.
We're so diluted
unless they came here later in life.
And even that's a stretch because you got to realize colonization and there was slavery in it.
And I knew still raping.
Peter was my guy. He's Sudanese, and he was definitely.
Well, so I think that's the biggest takeaway because we got on a whole different thing. But what the biggest takeaway I had and the issue I had with it was the fact that because like even me and Kevin talked about it, if you're saying that you can't respect the man for deciding to be with someone who was not of same race.
That nigga's lying.
I mean, you have to think that to a degree because you're thinking like, okay, so does that take away anything that I could potentially do to help?
Yeah, that's why I was like, he lying because
that's why
said that he took that money. I guarantee you, he took Ish's white wife money.
Because it's like,
it's like. That's why I told you I couldn't fully rock with it. What he was saying, like I understand, like what he's trying to get at with the whole keeping everything in house type thing.
Yes,
but I can't rock with it because ultimately, as a man, I feel like we have so many hardship as is. So if I just happen to find somebody who makes me happy and they're not of the same race as me, is that doesn't mean that she or he can't.
Appreciate your culture.
Right,
share your belief.
Right. So it's like you can't sit here and say that we have white allies or Mexican allies, but we can't commingle with them. Because honestly, at the end of the day, race is a fabricated construct, right? So if I got a vibe is a vibe, regardless. Now, but again, like I said, I understand what he's trying to get at, but I don't think things are as absolute as he tries to make them. I
think race is tribalism. It's closer to tribalism than anything else.
Face them out.
Huh?
Face them out.
Face who?
Oh yeah, there was a whole group of white people that are terrified that we're going to mix with everything. They're not going to exist anymore.
They believe it.
Face them out.
But they don't think it's us anymore. They think it's the Hispanics taking over.
Oh, I mean,
and like I've talked to some people like, well, it's happening, and they're like, yeah, they make it about. I'm like, it's still like 16 to 20%, homie. Like you got some time. Like, y'all still rocking.
I think the issue is that
people are scared. They're scared to change.
People are scared, right? But I think that a lot of times, like a lot of these like super pro black people have an issue with black people idolizing and pedestalizing, like putting other races on a pedestal, like they're better than black people, right? Because you do have those type of black people that do that, like the black people that will look down on their own race because they think their race is inferior.
Like you said, you have a black person say one thing and then an Asian person say the exact same thing. doubly the Asian person over the black
But
person.
I think that's a multicultural thing, because in a lot of cultures they believe they won't let them co-mingle with us. But like in other cultures, the only step up for them is to be with a white man. So they'll be like a Asian woman or Indian woman. The only thing that's allowed is if you're going to get class or higher class, if you're with a white man in their culture, they'll allow that. That's the only time that's a multicultural thing that all other races share, where they say, well, if you're going to marry up into white. That's like a shared culture. Like they're Asian, Indian, etc. Where if you're going to be with somebody, be with a white person.
Which is crazy, because most white people.
Crazy.
I met some Asians that are pretty damn strict.
I get that. I'm not saying this isn't an absolute. I'm saying, but when they do say you're going to mingle out, be with the white man, it's going to give you prestige or class.
Yeah, that's the perception.
It's hard for me to say that, just because we don't know that.
We know you married up.
What I'm saying, and I'm not doing this off of speculation. I've literally sat in rooms with like Palestinian families where you sit there and listen to them, and they'll say, if you're gonna, the only thing we'll allow you to be with is with the white man.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and they get lost in that,
and that's why that's why you always hear, "Oh, you're not like other black people."
Yeah,
you're. I am what they deem to be a agreeable black, because I'm not hood. So I'm not like other black people, since I'm educated and I don't do the things that they.
You're so well spoken.
I don't do these stereotypical things that they see on TV.
I got that shit. Directly from the relationship I'm in. Just the reaction of.
I got that shit from my wife. Told me to my face that I wasn't like the other black boys, so she gave me a chance. I said, "What the fuck does that mean? You racist motherfucker."
Yeah.
In the same defense, my wife said the exact same thing. She goes, if you acted like
you racist motherfucker.
It's one of the things, it's really, but it is an inferiority thing where it's like they try to put, and it hurts to say, but like in a lot of other races, black men are the lower.
And I will say this, like my wife says, like, growing up, because like you are a product of your environment, right? So we grew up mostly around white and Hispanics, right? So she would always say, "Oh, I thought I would have a white boyfriend." And I always said, "I thought I'd have a Hispanic girlfriend," right? That's what we say. And that's I got on the truth. But then I saw what she was working with. I was like, "No, I like that right there."
It's love. That was love.
You know what I'm saying? But apparently I was just agreeable black to her. I wasn't like the other one, so I was the safe choice. But but it's like. You can't discount the environment. So like when I look at Bronny, right? How people got on Bronny for taking the white girl to prom.
Yeah.
Look where he's raised at.
Yeah.
It's probably 12 black people in his school.
Yeah.
What do you expect? This is what he's seeing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to take that into account.
Yeah.
Because they got on him. Oh, she looks nothing like his mother. Okay, but this is who he's around.
Yeah. Who gives?
So
people be
love is love.
Even as we close this out, I'll say for me growing up, and this is a accountability thing amongst us as a people. When I was growing up, I don't know if you guys can attest to this, but I was in a lot of instances shunned by my own color. In a lot of instances, I wasn't accepted because I wasn't what they deemed regular, or I sounded white. I didn't act this way. So it was something where even at times where I did like the black girl, it was still something where they were like, well, we don't like you. So like for me, it was like growing up, especially in St. Louis, like me coming from California, it was a culture shock because I'm coming in and I sound a certain way because I'm from the West Coast and I'm not hood. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was like, yeah, we ain't rocking with you. So I'm like, hey, but I like you. I don't like you back. And you're like, well, what the fuck? Like what? Then it comes from our family history where they were treating me like shit, like a damn near like a dog at times. And it was one of them things where it was like, what the fuck? Like, you guys are supposed to be the ones that accept me, but you won't. Then you go into the situation where you come back to California and the people who accept me ain't got shit to do with race. It's people that accept me just because they rock with my personality and they just happen to not be black. So like in a lot of instances, it's not always just to cast out because we're over here choosing what was what was easier or higher then. It was in the situation for me, it had nothing to do with me thinking I was inferior to anyone.
Yeah.
It had everything to do with you go where you're celebrated and not tolerated.
I can co-sign that because when I think about it and I look back on my childhood, I didn't per se have a lot of black friends. Most of the black people I played with were cousins.
Yeah.
My very first friend from elementary school was a Samoan guy. It was a Samoan kid. And even like when I look at like my middle school days and my high school days, now granted, I wasn't, like I said, I was in the suburbs, so it wasn't a ton of black people there, but most of the black people there didn't rock with me. You know what I'm saying? But now, which is always funny, like now all these so-called people that really didn't rock with me act like we were best of friends on Facebook. But bro, I've never been in your house.
You wanna? Here's an interesting thought too. That made me think about this because I didn't know some of that shit was going on in school. It's like sometimes as a culture we do something that is shitty that we got to do it, but it's kind of cool because you got people in certain lifestyles that know, okay, this is how it is. And then they meet you and they're like, nah, this nigga don't belong here. So it's like they try to do whatever to keep you the fuck away.
Oh, like Stacy in the Wood.
And like, cause I didn't know that shit happened at school because I was like, you know how I was.
Yeah.
And like, I was talking to one of the homies. He was like, you know, niggas was looking out for us. Like, they'd be like, you and Kev good? Like, and I was like, no, we never like chit-chatted and shit like that.
That's not the entire case. Like, yeah. Now that I can say,
I'm
that's
just
like
giving
I know,
a different.
Like I know I had cousins that were part of life, and they were like, no, this ain't what you want.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But like when I'm talking about the kids I were interacting with, nah.
I wasn't saying your situation.
Yeah, because I remember I've had this conversation on the pod before, and it was a dude mutually know, and he was into life, and he said some shit to me in passing one day. Hey man, they fucking with you? I said, nah.
You knew what that meant.
Yeah, because I stayed. That's why basketball is such a safe haven for me. Is I played basketball with everyone. Basketball was the one thing that unified everyone. SA, Asian, whatever. Like on that court, color didn't make a difference. They were just you were playing a sport. As far as playing a sport, my nigga, like we just all love the sport. So when he's talking about, hey man, they fucking with you. He's talking about at the time at North, there was a black and brown beef a lot. So he was like, they fucking with you? I'm like, nah, nigga. But the thing is, I stayed away from it. I get what you were saying, but it was just something where if I'm not around it, they can't fuck with me because I'm not around it. Now, if I was over there hanging out where the shit was happening, I'm sure it would have, touched me at some point. But I saw it happen with other people where you could say, hey, they're looking out for you, right? In my case, they try to extend the olive branch of, my nigga, we got you. I said, I appreciate it, but ain't nothing going on over here because I stayed the fuck away from it.
But I didn't take that as that either. I was like, they was looking out because they're like, because some of these niggas, I'm like, damn, I was like wilding at 15. Like, damn. But like, they knew we had a different path. Like, you could tell, like, that sounds fucked up to say, but it's like...
And even then, it was an olive branch extended because they knew my dad. It's like all these people knew my dad because my dad was Jesse the barber. Yeah. So all these motherfuckers knew my dad and rocked with my dad. So they said, well, we make sure to look out for his son. But it's like, I appreciate it. And if it ever had to have happened, I appreciate it. I know I got your vote of confidence. But
even that was different. I was, everybody, I was known as that's the preacher's son.
Yeah. So it was one of the things where it's like, it did, though I had the conversation and it was never, oh man, they about to stump you out. Nah.
Yeah, I got you. I just mean like there is some people out there.
Yeah.
So like,
but it's also kind of weird, Kevin, because I spent every day in high school with my wife. Like we spent
nobody. You didn't need nobody.
right. So like I would spend lunch with her, right? And then after school, I would after practice I would be with her. So I never really commingled with anybody, period. But a lot of that I didn't really care for because in the middle school I saw how they acted towards me. So I was like, I'm cool anyway. Good. Like I'm gonna go home, cut on my PlayStation and play GTA. I'll be cool. Do my homework.
I mean, it was PlayStation and a lot of masturbation and staying to my goddamn self and basketball. So it was, but so like Hunter,
Nigga,
Hunter was wilding out, robbing people and shit with his Gumby. But
and also had a job like that. That was different. I was like he was like, you working? Like, I got a job. I got a
yeah.
So I mean, this went longer on one topic, so we're just gonna have to come back to the next topic in the next episode. But with that being said, this has been
the memories.
Fuck, you're right. Thank you. Yeah. So yesterday marks.
Yeah.
How many years has it been?
Nigga. Shit, I was in. I'll tell you this. I remember my
05.
It was my sophomore junior year in college. Yeah.
It was 05 of January 5th, 2005. Tajor, who this podcast is paying homage to, the man right there. He passed away. Goddamn, I'm not good with math.
It was 2005. So
2005 from now, that's almost 20 years.
20. God damn.
So that's 19 years. So it's been 19 years since he passed away. I think about him daily. He's a big influence on why I rap, because he was one of the people that told me, man, you can do this shit. You can do this shit. And I remember one instance when we linked up at RCC, and I probably said this on this podcast before, but it always sticks out, was we were in this class. It was a music class, and he was trying to get added to the class. So he had one of those ad cards for the teacher. And we were sitting in the class, and we're waiting for the teacher to get there, and she was kind of like 5 minutes later or whatever. So we're sitting there, and he just starts knocking on the table, and he's making a beat, which is Tajor. If you know Tajor, that's what he normally did. So he just starts knocking on the table, and he starts knocking out So Anxious, the beat, just by Genuine, just knocking out. So he just starts singing in class, and then he goes, my nigga, stutter about the rap song, and I'm looking at him like, but he made me freestyle, and I remember freestyling in the class. I remember we got the whole class nodding their heads, and I remember thinking, maybe I can do this shit. Like, and then I was like, this nigga's mad talented. Like, but like the fact that he had the ability to make everybody gravitate towards him, that was the big thing about Tajor, is he could make you gravitate towards him. And there's so many people that I know from high school that reach out and just be like, man, Tajor, he made me feel fine about my sexuality. People used to make fun of me because I was gay, but he never treated me any different. Or, people used to make fun of me for this, and that, or they made me feel insecure because of that. But Tajor was always welcoming, and he always showed love. And that was the biggest thing about Tajor, was he always showed love to everybody, regardless of what your sexual orientation was, how you looked. He always showed love. When I felt down on myself about doing music and didn't know if I could do it, he was the one person that says, you nice, you dope, fuck what anybody got to tell you, you dope to me. And that gave me the confidence and the fucking motivation to keep pushing. That's why, and it means a lot to me when his parents reach out or his brother reaches out and they tell me that they rock with me so hard because I keep his memory alive and I always mention him. And that's what me and Kevin wanted to do with this podcast. That's why we named it the Heavyweight Podcast. Originally, it was supposed to be the Heavyweight Tour and was supposed to be a rap comedy thing. So anytime we get to do the rap comedy show, it's still paying homage to him. So I'm going to pass it over to Kevin.
I was thinking about this memory. We were at a hookah bar, and somebody that I used to work with, he went by the wackest, and he was like, you guys should come by and freestyle. And I was like, all right, we'll come to your house and freestyle.
That's what the name was, the wackest?
That was his name, the wackest. He was whack. He was
fuck. I guess it fits.
But like, I remember going over there and we were just like rapping, like in the middle of the living room with the lights off, drinking and just having a good time. And I don't know what happened where the nigga didn't have a beat no more. And then Tajor just bust out beatboxing. And then I just hear the Smurfs theme song on his beatbox. And I'm like, is this nigga? And I'm just like rapping. And I was like, dope, and then we just caught a vibe. Yeah. And I was just like, I think we just freestyle till like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm like, he could rap. So I was like, damn, well, thanks for bringing that fucking dope-ass Smurfs beat. I tried to imitate it, and it was whack. But we just used to do shit like that all the time, like just all the time.
And he would just, that was the thing. He could randomly just rap, sing, whatever you needed, dance.
Yeah.
And like he would, or if he told you a story, it was hilarious. Like he was very, very talented. And like he's responsible for a lot of artists that are local that people don't realize that he, like, you'll end up saying, oh, damn, they knew him? Yeah, they knew him. So like, and we pay homage to you, Tajor. We miss you every day. I can't believe it's been 19 years.
Yeah, that shit fucked me up.
You've influenced a lot of people. We love you. Hopefully we're making you proud with this. And
we're gonna take it big.
Yeah.
We're gonna take it big.
Till next time, though. This is the Heavyweight Podcast. I am Stutter McFly. One more time with these three guys.
Motherfucking Gap Williams over here.
It's your boy Molly the Grouch.
Hey, they call me Hunter.
They do.
So next time, peace. We love you.
Peace.
Love and apple grease.
It's a wrap. That's all she wrote, folks. Thanks for tuning in once again. You can check us out on all streaming platforms. Click like, subscribe, leave some comments, you know what I'm saying? Is it Monday yet? Hello. Every Monday you got new episodes, so tune in. Have a blessed one.